Hello YouTube and YTPC. Fireplug here, coming from the Urban Bunker, and I'm going to be touching on a topic that has been touched on before, both by myself and others far more qualified than me. It recently came up again, or perhaps boiled over again on Friday. The topic is what the YTPC is becoming, or perhaps has become. There has been talk about what we know as pipe acquisition disorder and tobacco acquisition disorder, and how important both of those may or may not be. Well, as someone that was on both sides of the financial holding or financial, basically, as someone that has seen both sides, I can give you my thought. And I have made videos on this subject before. But when I first saw it, it was about 2 or maybe 2.5 years ago. So those videos are probably pretty entrenched in the collection that has grown. Let's start with the PAD. There are some that collect their pipes. So that person might have, say, 10 pipes that have never been smoked, that they have never held tobacco. They are as good now as when they were first purchased. And if you're a collector of things, in this instance pipes, perhaps baseball cards, or even something like something more exotic like Humbles or paperweights, then if you're able to buy it, go ahead and do it. It doesn't mean that you have to smoke them. It doesn't mean they have to be used. Some have the thought of, why would I buy it if I'm not going to use it? Well, as you've seen with several of the others in the community, they can be sold to supply other things. Whether it's supplying a means to purchase other tobaccos that you've found that you enjoy, or if it is to supply a fund to something that wasn't expected, medical issue or otherwise. So personally, I feel that, well, for myself, when I had a steady flow of income, I didn't want to just randomly buy things. I didn't randomly buy any pipes that I saw just because I could. I waited and observed the various shapes, and what ended up happening was I found a fondness for the ones that I did purchase. My first purchase, aside from the basket pipe that I started with, was corncob, because I figured I don't know what I'm doing, so I might as well get something that can be possibly abused. And after, actually, one of the bowls that I first started, I still have a Missouri Meerschaum Country Gentleman, and it's gotten some cracks over the years, and I've sealed them with Elmer's glue, because I know absolutely nothing about restoring pipes or corn cobs, but every now and then when I am able to smoke, I sometimes grab that, and it goes just as smoothly as it did when I first got it. And there are the common thought is, if you buy a Missouri Meerschaum and you only use them, then you're somehow less of a pipe smoker than others. I say you can smoke a briar pipe, or if it's a Mr. Brock, a pearwood pipe, or whichever wood, olive wood, all the different kinds. You can smoke them the same way you would smoke a corn cob. It comes down to the individual that is loading and communing with it. Now, is there a price difference? We all know that corncob pipes are extremely affordable, and some briars can be extremely expensive. Once again, just like buying new pipes, if you can afford it and it's not a big deal to you, then you can do it. And now, with as generous as many of our members of the community are, there's a good chance that you might end up with one of those higher end or higher priced briars given to you. The matter of what to buy and where to buy, again, can be a trick. Everybody has their favorite maker, their favorite style, bowl size, um, even when it comes down to the stem work, whether you like acrylic or you like the plastic that is on a Missouri Meerschaum or what have you. With tobacco, I think for a long time, over-the-counter blends got the short end of the stick. They were seen as a cheaper tobacco, not just in price, but in status. For example, when Dunhill was, before they closed, you ask somebody what's a good brand to start with, and they would name Virginia from Dunhill, or a Latakia that Dunhill would have, like an English 965 nightcap. The gems of that brand. And then they said, well, how much is it, for a tin of that? Well, then you're paying $10 more. Well, for $8.50, you'd be able to go to a Family Dollar, go to their little tobacco corner, if you will, and get an 8-ounce bag of roll your own tobacco. Now, the roll your own tobacco is not going to be equal to the quality of a Dunhill or a McBaron, or even a aromatic like Captain Black. It is going to be a burley, and unless you get menthol, there's going to be no flavoring added to it. And what will most likely happen, if you aren't mentally aware of it, is you're going to smoke it too fast and end up with tongue bite. Now, there are times when you're using that roll your own brand that you can pick up on the different tobacco in it, whether it be Virginia's, or perhaps you get a hit of just the nicotine, not nicotine, the burley. That's what I was thinking. You get the flavor of that nuttiness from the burley, or a slight hint of raisin from it all just blending together. Now, granted, not every bowl is going to be like that, but there is a hidden treasure. Now, of course, from the over-the-counter blends, that most people think of is things like Borkham Riff, Captain Black, and things like that. Sutliff, even the Prince Albert and Half and Half can be in that. If you're having one of those, personally, I think if I could have a lifetime of half and half, then it wouldn't matter if I was able to get a tin of any of the other things, because I would be content. Half and Half does have that strong burley flavor, that strong burley hit in the retrohale, but it does have a somewhat sweet essence of anise. It does have qualities that raise it from being just an over-the-counter blend. And I think that part of the reason that these blends are treasured by what's known as the codgers is because economically they are easier to get. They're around a lot more because so many people are trying to get the mainstream premier blends. And it's something that you don't have to put too much thought in. You could just pack the pipe of your choosing, sit there and enjoy it. You don't have to sit there thinking, well, is this flavor, or what is it I'm tasting now? Well, okay, but what am I smelling? Why am I not smelling so and so? I think just as the ocean flows and ebbs and constantly goes up and down, and sometimes it seems like when the wind stops, you just have that stillness in the water. That tends to be how it is with the pipe community. There has been some discontent. There has been a lot of generous love and wishes given to others. What it comes down to is that we are a family. And whether you are enjoying a corn cob of Old Joe Krantz, or you're enjoying a briar of an esoteric blend, we have a connection. We are brought together by the simple admiration of a hobby that goes over several hundreds of years. Now, this is a pretty long ramble, but I hope that you were able to get some nuggets of something useful from all of it. The tobacco, whether it is premium or over the counter, whether it's tinned or bulk or loose leaf, loose cut, it is essentially, in its essence, the same thing. It is a way that we use to relax, to contemplate, to rise ourselves to a better being. So I hope everyone's weekend went well, and I do hope that the start of the week does not disrupt anyone. I wish you all well. Keep your eyes on the horizon, and don't forget to watch your six.